Welcome to Not Another Crime Podcast. I'm Georgia Love.
I'm Sammy Peterson.
I'm a journalist.
I am not.
And who and what, I suppose, is our beautiful guest sitting opposite us today?
What, who, where, which, how, or why. Remember the Curiosity Show? You wouldn't have even been born then when that show was on. I'm Myf Warhurst, and I don't know what I am, to be honest.
National treasure is what you are.
National treasure.
National treasure. National treasure. It's amazing to have you here. Now, I'm such a big fan of yours, and I've only met you very briefly once at a friend's birthday party. And
it's been dining out on it ever since.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I tell that story famous. What a great story. I met Myf Warhurst once. Okay, have you got anything else? No.
I can tell that again if you like.
When I'm coming up with a new comedy show, you've got to have stories.
That's funny. Look, we met through a friend who's very much in this true crime world.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
great Rachel Brown, who we love. And
we've spoken about her podcast on here before because, of course, we did the Erin Patterson story, and Rachel Brown is the one who did the Mushroom Daily podcast.
Yeah. She's incredible. And Trace as well, which we have to get her on to talk about that. But we did warn you today about, Georgia messaged you and told you there's a big dog here.
There's a
big dog.
There is a beast in the podcast studio.
And I'm in love.
Oh my God, he's in love with you.
He's beautiful. He's my
He's
human
legitimately your height, the same height as you. And as soon as you sat down in your chair, Diggs brought it upon himself to sit down in our chairs and literally sat down in front of the microphone. Oh. So he's just as in love with you. I don't think he's going to interview today. So
he's got some firm views and stories to tell, I can tell.
He does. Just that he loves everyone and everything.
His greatest crime is that his father, Sam Peterson, bought him a soft toy dog yesterday. And you know what Diggs did when I came around today to show off and show me his new toy dog? Ripped his ear off.
Ripped his ear off, yeah. He's killed his new toy that's over there, the beautiful, it's a little Labrador puppy. Oh, and he's already ripped it apart. He likes to show off by destroying something.
Watch this, got a new puppy.
It's a talent. It's a skill.
A real
it's
talent.
a real skill for a gentleman of his stature to be able to just come in and just destroy something like that.
Yes. Right. When I went to New York earlier in the year, I obviously had to bring back a present for my child who I'd left, who is Sammy's dog, Diggs. And I found a New York, like a teddy bear with like New York motifs all over it that was meant for children, but it was, I don't know what material it was, but it's a material you can draw on. So it's like a black and white thing that you're meant to be able to colour it in with fabric textures.
Diggs isn't very good at colouring, being
not as
colourblind.
But I was like, that's a perfect toy for him because it's not just soft plush material that he can rip apart.
Oh, no.
Then Sammy goes to IKEA and buys him a child's toy Labrador.
Yeah, that's not
And he gets it right away. No. And other kids look so excited in IKEA as well. They're like, oh my God, like for a kid. And it's like, no, just a big boy that's going to rip it apart right away. Yeah. We can't talk about Diggs the entire time.
We can, but we won't.
People know you from Spicks and Specs. They know you from so many wonderful things.
Eurovision.
Bang on, like Eurovision as well.
And your own brand new podcast. Can you tell us about that? How's it going?
Oh, it's been amazing. Like I've done podcasting before. Obviously, I did Bang On with Zandro for years and years, and we loved it.
Has that wrapped up for now?
We wrapped up at the end of last year because it had been 8 years. And I think
you've been banging on long enough.
Yeah, and I wasn't working at the ABC on a permanent basis, hadn't been for a while. So I wanted to explore something else I could do myself. And you can't do a podcast with the ABC and do one elsewhere. So I kind of had to make that very difficult decision. And we never say never because we adore each other. But it's been amazing. I have loved it. Even if it fails dramatically, it's called The Moment, by the way, and I basically just go through whatever anyone's talking about that day, the moment that day, or a person having a moment. It's whatever I want, really, which is
the best.
Wonderful, because there's no rules in podcasting. This is the other thing. I think coming from a radio background, I always thought I had to do certain things, and you do. There are requirements of that job, whereas with this, it's like, well, what do I feel like today?
Yeah.
And because I'm running the show as well. I mean, I have a company that I do all the technical side with, and they're amazing. They're a studio. But it's just, I feel like I can explore whatever I want, and it's really freeing.
Yeah.
And I needed a new challenge, and I'm doing the video part, so I'm on YouTube. There's 3 people watching, but that's fine. My audience is not
Sammy
there
and Diggs.
yet.
Yeah.
My
Diggs watches every episode.
Oh, good, very good. Like and subscribe, Diggs. And so, you know, like just putting myself out in that world, which feels quite foreign to me, even though I've done television for 20 odd years. so pushing myself, doing stuff I love, I feel really invigorated by it.
Oh, how good is that?
I wasn't expecting to feel that at this stage, and I needed it. And I'm kind of in love with it.
Oh, that's the best.
Which I haven't had, like I love my jobs but I work on such good ones, it's hard not to, and work with great people. But I wasn't expecting to feel that for this, because it felt like a medium that I'd done before, and it was just me, and maybe that wasn't enough. And it's like, it's so fun, so fun.
So your whole face is lit up talking about it as well. That's so great.
And it's allowed I probably the first time to be more authentically me, because every other job has certain requirements. But when you're doing it yourself, it's like, well, what do I want?
Yep. Yeah. And who does it fall back on? Me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if it fails, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I've failed a million times.
We all have. 8 years ago, so when you started Bang On as well, you built this huge community that kind of came to the live shows and did that. Yeah. When you were doing radio for a long time and then going into this, did you kind of, I guess 8 years ago, podcasting was still kind of fresh.
Yeah, it was.
Fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
When you first started, was it a bit of the unknown, and how did you find going into that from radio?
Oh, look, we loved it then too, if I remember correctly, because it was all the things that the structure of the jobs that we had. I think Zan was at Triple J still, I was at Double J, and they were great, but they were predominantly music-based stations. Meant that we didn't have an opportunity to speak about broader things, so it gave us that opportunity, and we realised we loved it, and it's fun, and it's very hard to explain. I think we get so used to ways of broadcasting, and you would know that, Georgia, especially in news, it's very tight and very strict. You've got to do certain things, and radio is actually a lot like that. Yeah. Even though there's areas to play, it's still very much, it felt quite military at times in terms of its structure. And I still fall back on those things, those techniques that I learnt, and they do give you a parameter, but when that's gone, it's like, oh, who is she without that?
Oh,
It's like the scaffolding's gone, and you can just sort of explore a bit, and I love it.
And that's the word you used, freeing. Yes. How wonderful is that?
Yeah, I know. And people say too many podcasts in the world, but I say to everyone do one.
Absolutely.
Like
Diggs just started one just before we started. He took a lovely photo with his headphones on.
Diggs has already got 5-star reviews.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's the thing. It's why not? If you want to do it for yourself. Also, everyone out there has a different niche. A different niche and has a set of their favourite things and what they love and what they want to hear about. And I always think, it was said to me once, if there's something that you would like to listen to that's not there,
make it,
because then someone else will be thinking the same thing.
Absolutely, and ideas are never really completely original. We know that, like, they sort of come at the same time depending on what's going on culturally in the zeitgeist, and they come to you, and if you don't jump on it, someone else will do it. And that was mine. It was like, no one's sort of doing a more daily, regular podcast about this stuff, offering an interesting angle on cultural critiques. I thought, oh, I could do that.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Is it hard to do every day?
No, because I'm there anyway. I'm chronically online, so I might as well parlay. And that's what I realised I've also done my whole life. I put my interests become my work, because I actually enjoy it immensely. It's with music, same thing, like with Spics and Specs. That was always my interest, so it was easy. So it becomes easy. It's not that classic, if you do what you love, it's not a work or whatever. It is sometimes, but it's also the research comes easily.
As I said to G the other night, like I always talk about, I do stand-up, and this year did my first stand-up show, and hour-long show, and you always say, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And friends call me after gigs a lot of the time, and they go, "Did you work tonight?" I go, "Oh, I worked hard tonight."
Yeah, she works hard for the money.
She worked hard tonight.
She works hard for the money. I know. There's some days when
it's... There's some days, yeah.
Well, it's a bit, maybe when you put it that way, it's a bit morbid, perhaps, that we have turned our love of just
crime,
gossiping about crime to each other into our work in this as well.
Know.
Are you a crime girly?
I was for a long time. When podcasting started to delve into that world, I very much waded in that pool, and I enjoyed it. And I've watched a lot of documentaries and found a lot of them very fascinating, because, as always, we are fascinated by the human condition and humanity and
what makes people tick.
Exactly, behaviours. And I think as women, we're obviously predisposed to surviving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you know
have to be.
if you know all their tactics, then hopefully you know you've got a
Exactly.
better chance of survival if it ever happens to you.
Do you think that's why women are so interested in crime podcasting?
Probably. Yeah, it's like an ingrained thing in us that's, survival instinct, or it's more likely to happen to us. So, I don't know, keeping it information closer and kind of watching or listening as quote unquote entertainment maybe makes it feel a bit like we're protecting ourselves at the same time as going, not normalizing it happening, but I know about this. I know about it. I'm good. I'm in the world of it. I can keep my wits about myself.
Opening up the dialogue, I guess,
Yeah.
as well.
Yes,
talking
yeah,
about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
My sister is well and truly too deep in the crime world at the moment.
Can you tell the story about when you had to sleep in?
Yep.
that's
Yep, that's what I was going to tell. I famously start work at Sparrow's Fart and slept through my alarm. Yeah. Slept through my alarm one day. And one of my colleagues, not wanting to call the boss, God love him, thank you. The boss ended up finding out. But anyway, not wanting to call her, messaged my sister and said, do you know if George went out last night or anything? Is she good? Rah, rah, rah. My sister has been watching so many crime documentaries and listening to this show so much, she flipped the fuck out, drove to my house, was ringing on the doorbell, messaging all my friends, checking when the last time I was seen, the last person I'd spoken to. She's writing my eulogy in the car.
Oh my God,
I'd just
she's
slipped
crying.
In. I'd just slipped in.
She already processed her death by the time she got there.
Yeah, I might have to give the podcast a break for a couple of weeks.
But did you start with Serial and all those? Did you get into those?
Absolutely. And of course then Rachel Brown's Trace, which was quite radical. And I think it's really interesting that the crime podcasting business is very much based on women's stories.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. And these stories were not investigated, most of them. It's like watching Grand Designs where you know what's going to happen. They're going to spend too much money, but in these ones, the police lost the evidence.
Yes.
Those people in religious positions were completely inappropriate or behaved badly.
They believed that the mum just up and left her kids one day and never spoke to them again.
All of those things. And I think that's actually had a huge impact on how culture has changed around these stories of women that have been lost, in police files and history. And I love that. I actually love that. I think it's really important that it's been done, and it's almost like women have driven this in a way. So many cases are being brought back into life or solved now.
Because of that.
Because of it.
There was one actually, we wanted to bring this up. We had a listener messaging us about it the other day. There, just last week at time of recording,
Was it Whittlesea?
yeah. Oh my God, I thought you were whispering something to me like, don't
Oh,
talk about it. I was like, oh my God,
no.
do you know something I don't know?
I went, don't talk about that.
It's like, no, that's
It's like our Louvre
embargo.
No, there was a police press release came out saying homicide detectives have charged a man today over a murder in Whittlesea, which is a suburb of Melbourne, 34 years ago. And the media are going, oh my God, what? And, looked into the murder. It was a 27-year-old young mother of a toddler who her husband went out, took the toddler out to give her a couple of hours to work on her own, came home on a Friday night and found her brutally bashed to death in their hallway. And for 34 years, they haven't been able to find who was. And they just said they had arrested a 65-year-old Melbourne man. Obviously, the information doesn't come out until they're in the court. It was her husband. Wow. Who has been charged. So to the listener who wrote in about that story, we will cover that eventually, but that the details won't come out until he's in court again.
This is the way that we reply to emails, Myf.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We're just going to do a section where we write some emails.
Whoever
if that's
wrote
all right.
in,
yeah.
we'll get to it, okay?
We will
But that
get
is
to
an
it.
example of that again. That is 34 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is police keeping on the case.
And
That's
also-
not from a podcast being done or
Yeah.
anything, but how wonderful for the family of Melinda Freeman to know that after 34 years they're still working to make sure that someone is taken into account for her murder.
Absolutely, and there might be a chance of closure.
Exactly, and that's all you can hope for with that. It's all you can. But yeah, there's so many
And also,
more cases
no
of that.
shit, Sherlock, the husband did
Yeah,
it.
well, that's what I can't
Allegedly.
wait.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
I can't wait to hear more details about that in the court because from the very little information we have, it baffles me that he hasn't been.
That hasn't been something that's been looked into.
And how and why it's taken.
It's an entire generation, decades where men were believed.
Yep.
And if they said they weren't there, I know we have a gentleman in the room with us.
Right. He cops the end of my man-hating ways often.
And I support it.
Sitting here very nicely and quietly, just being a wonderful human, and I'm going, fucking men doing.
But no questions asked, you know, and or even if they were sus, they got away with it.
Well, Hedley Thomas's podcast, The Teacher's Pet, is one of the most famous examples of that. And, you know, that's obviously now been solved. And Chris, what's his surname?
Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Chris Dawson, sorry.
Dawson.
I thought you asked me if I knew someone called Chris. Chris, your friend.
We're doing some real good communicating today, aren't we?
God, the chemistry between us is electric today, mate.
Amazing. You guys know each other like the back of your hands.
We always finish each other's sandwiches.
We're good. That's a comedy bit that we're working on as well. Got it all going on today, mate.
But
Dawson.
you have, Chris Dawson. We'll move on.
Moved on
from talking about other
okay.
ones.
Yep.
We had our moment. You have, despite saying you used to be a true crime girlie and you're not so much anymore, you've brought us a story today.
Oh, yeah. I've been fascinated by this woman for years because I'm a fan of the work that she created. But that's one of the big questions looming over this entire thing. Did she create it all? I suspect she did, but she had a lot of people helping, and then that opens questions up about authorship and who is the creator if there's lots of people working for you. But I'm being quite vague at the moment.
No, we like that.
We've
got to have an intro
Good
snippet.
tease. Yeah.
And look, this is a story, and I'm just going to access my notes here, that is about so much. Like it's about a woman who is living a radical life in a time when that was completely frowned upon, but it's also about a woman, well, it's a tale of reinvention. It's about changing identity, manipulation of truths, mystery, ownership, as I mentioned, or authorship, and just so much more. And that's before the murder.
Wow.
What a tease. You have done radio and podcasting before, haven't you?
What a
You're
pro.
good.
I love her, and what she made has had a huge impact culturally all across the world. So this woman is extraordinary, but she again got lost in the system until Akira Izugawa found her work or had known of her work. That's the fashion designer, and included prints of her imagery in his work, that it went global again, and now everybody is in love with her. And her name is Florence Broadhurst.
Of course.
And she is famous in Australia for her wallpaper, but and her wallpaper is incredible. And I brought a book just so you can look, but you've probably already looked.
So
but
good.
it's, if you've ever seen any of that bonkers sort of 70s wallpaper that has a lot of silver through it or gold, hugely colourful. There's beautiful peacock imagery that was very, very famous. She was extraordinary, and when she was murdered, she left a back catalogue of over 500 different kinds of prints. So,
oh wow!
It's all still there, and sensitively, it's been cared for by a company that owns all of her product now. But that almost disappeared as well. So, anyway, she is incredible. But her life before the murder, which even all of that is a bit hazy and shady, and there's lots to tell there, but her life before then was just utterly bonkers and comes from a time when you could just make shit up and do whatever you wanted because no one
really
was.
know.
And it was awesome. I just
There was no fact checking on Wikipedia.
oh my God. No. Well, if there was this, she would have been committed, I think.
But I love this too. If we do this a lot on this podcast, that we love talking about people's backgrounds and their life very much aside from and before the crime that has maybe brought them to prominence in other ways as well, because that's so important as well. People shouldn't just be known for the way they left the world, but
get to know the person
what they
instead.
put on.
Like, we spoke about Reba Steenkamp recently, and and the story of Phil Hartman is an incredible story without
listen to that one.
Talking about and you got to talk about Phil Hartman's career as well, rather than just talking about the murder as well.
Incredible, and it's a way of honouring them too.
Yeah,
I think, and I like that. Yeah, do you want me to go through?
Absolutely,
please?
yeah.
Okay, this is bonkers. Strap
so
in.
excited.
Oh, and I actually had this conversation with someone who works at the ABC a little while ago, and I was like, "Oh my God, you should."
Was it
guys,
Big Ted?
Yes, actually, yeah.
You can see
Your mum
B1
available.
and B2.
A big
We're
fan of
in on
them.
the council meeting, but we
The
were,
Bodies Corp of
Yeah.
ABC.
and I said, you need to know about Florence Broadhurst. Someone's got to do a show. And lo and behold, a week later, I was looking at who got funding to do whatever in terms of Australian film and
Yep.
Australian TV. And the people behind the newsreader are doing a TV series
wow.
on Florence Broadhurst. So,
Michael Lucas?
yes, it's Michael Lucas.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
I hope you TM'd that before they
Yeah.
signed off on it when it was your idea.
Well, no,
Well,
I mean,
talking about
lawyer
authorship.
up.
but yeah, but that's, I mean, great. That's already come
Yeah.
far beyond even my idea to do something on that. But I'm just really pleased that her story will get told and that they're going to do it because I love the newsreader.
Oh, it was done so well.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I love the interiors and the commitment to design
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
aesthetic, and I think that's why I love Florence Broadhurst. But here we go.
Imagine if Ryan Murphy was doing it. How would you feel about that?
I would watch the shit out of it.
But also give someone else another go, please. Ryan can have one go at it.
Yeah, he can do the first episode. And we can all be in because it'll be trash tastic.
Yeah.
All right, okay, take you back to 1899 when she was born. She was born Florence Maud Broadhurst at Mungie Station near Mount Perry in Queensland. That's inland from up the top.
Yeah.
I'm really bad.
Inland from up the top. That's
Inland,
good.
yeah.
We have international listeners. That's all they need to know.
Exactly. When you're there, yeah, go and look it up on Google. At 16, around about, because there's no real dates and
Yeah,
details with
yeah.
all this stuff. It's very. I mean, Queensland. I mean, they were still working on Morse code at that point. I would imagine. At around 16, she won a singing competition in Queensland and began performing locally. So she could play piano, she could sing, she had a
Wow.
great voice. Everyone realised she was very, very talented. That was 1915. So by 1922, prior to that, she went to I think Brisbane and Sydney and joined theatrical troupes.
Wow.
And became an actor. And at that time, she was just working on a character, and in a lot of those days, they didn't have enough men and women to play certain roles. So she took on a male role, a masculine role, and she became known by the drag queens who had titled her. Instead of being Florence Broadhurst, she was known as Miss Bobby. So she was Bobby. Her name just miraculously changed to Bobby Broadhurst. And this is when she left Australia. Imagine this too, in 1922, left Australia for Southeast Asia and China and worked under the stage name Miss Bobby. And it was with a troupe called the Globetrotters, and they were killing it over there. So Singapore first, and then I think they headed to China. Oh, I'm losing my voice a bit. She headed to China, and she was amazing over there, where she would apparently educate a lot of the girls of international. I don't know what you'd call them. It was a colonial kind of outlier.
Right, okay.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know the politics of China
Yep.
at that time, but I feel like there was a lot of there would have been a lot of Europeans over there. Anyway, she was teaching them etiquette.
Oh my God.
Etiquette as well as doing theatre shows, and it was
Wow.
just ridiculous. Like, she was teaching them things, and I wrote this down last night. It was called the Broadhurst Academy, and it incorporated a school of the arts, a finishing school. She taught voice lessons because she could sing and play piano. She did deportment, and she also had classes in weight loss and journalism.
Oh
Wow. Big two, weight loss and journalism.
Oh my God.
That's
Apart from the weight loss part, I'm like, this sounds like my career. Wanting to sing and act, being a journalist.
Lauded by drag queens all over.
Lauded by drag.
Absolutely, given a name by drag queens. Like,
Yeah.
she was obviously terribly enigmatic and incredibly talented, and was born in a time where options were limited, and this woman just got in there and made
Taking
the
them all.
most of it.
Yeah.
Taking them all.
What a trailblazer.
Yeah.
And you also think of, like, drag queens in the 20s as well. That's incredible to think of that history
Yeah.
that you don't even think about, especially in Queensland.
Yes.
Like, that just blows my mind that world existed even in the 20s.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, look,
love that.
and we're gonna go back to Queensland, where she pretends she never came from Queensland at all. And this is
I
where
would too.
Love that.
I would too.
This is
Redacted
where
for all our Queensland listeners.
Yeah,
too.
no. You need to know about this woman because she was scorned by her own family for doing this, but she did not care. This is the type of person
God,
she
I
was.
love her.
Oh, she also took up the banjo in China too. She was
Of course she
apparently
did.
amazing at the banjo.
Of course. I'd expect no less from Flossie.
Exactly. She left China. I think politically things were falling apart there, and it got quite dangerous. So she came back to Australia, and the family was really wrapped. Regional Queensland. She's come home. The famous daughter's come home. Anyway, she got a bit drunk and drove, because that's what they did back in those days. Had a really bad car accident which nearly killed her, and she was in hospital for days and days and days, or months, years, whatever. And apparently she was famous for touching her skull, where she said she would always say, that's where my skull is thin because of the accident. So, there was all those things going on. There was a lot of drama about this lady. Anyway, she everyone thought she'd stay. She was hanging out with the family. They loved having her home. But small towns, this town was not big enough for her. So she just got in a ship and went to London.
Oh, my God.
To London on a ship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, God.
And while she was there was a promise of working with a theatrical troupe. A new person emerged at this point, or was beginning to emerge. Oh, she's good. She's this is amazing. There's no Google searching going on here.
No.
So she just thought, fuck it. Are we allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Great. She thought, fuck it, I want to be something. And you know what she wanted to be this time around? Because she obviously, this is a person who can see a gap in a market and knows how to target it.
She started a podcast.
Well, it's her version of a podcast for women of her generation, and that is, obviously by now it's sort of 20s, 30s, and financially the world is crumbling. We're heading towards the depression. And she's gone, these people are quite high society. They want to maintain a look. So what do they need? They need high fashion clothing at a reasonable price. So what she did was got a posh address in London. So, wherever couturiers or I don't even know how to say that word. I'm terrible with it.
Charcuterie, I believe.
Yes. And so she had this address, and so it looked good, but it essentially meant that a lot of society women could go to her. Her name was Madame Polier at this point. She was a French couturier, and she implied that she'd been educated in France. So she was pretty nifty with the Janome as well, or the Singer sewing machine, on top of everything else. But she was providing high fashion clothes at an affordable cost to high society women.
What was her name again? Sorry, Madame.
Madame Polier.
It's giving polyester.
You did Madame
is.
Polyester.
It is. Great song. And then, so she'd get her clients by going and holidaying. Within a year, she was holidaying in Paris and getting her clients on European holidays and that sort of thing. She got married to a Percy Walter Gladstone Cann. That's her first marriage.
Sounds very fancy, whoever that was.
Yep. And
Percy. Percy is a
barrel.
great name.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Bring that back.
I love that.
Bring that back. And then I think that was all going well, but I think it was either the first. No, it might have been the Second World War. I'm a bit bad with dates, to be honest. This is where
Quite famously, our listeners know I have no idea about anything
we're
to do
not
with
sure about all
numbers.
of
So
those.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Good. That's it's my issue as well. Okay, yes. She did it was the Second World War by now, so she'd done a lot of working for the Australian Women's Voluntary Services. She did hospitality for Australian soldiers in London, but then I think financially it was a bit of a struggle because no one was buying clothes because obviously, rations and whatnot. So they came back to Australia, her and her husband. Anyway, her husband got a touch of the let's bullshit our way through this and came back. I think he was in fact, I think he worked for a weapons, making weapons
or something. Yeah, wow.
So it was a pretty basic existence at this point. Oh, though I did write this one down. She was romanced by many men prior to the marriage, but she always chose career over romance. And there's a story that an Anglo-Indian Maharaji from Delhi apparently shot a tiger in her honour but she chose career over him and staying with him.
Girl
If
boss.
I had $1.
Yes, exactly.
For every time.
Who shot a tiger for us?
Wayne, a few.
In your honour.
Do you want the names or?
Yeah, I mean that's got to be the bar.
Yeah.
We have so
Shooting
much
a
life to
tiger.
live. Let's go out and meet a Maharaja tonight.
So yeah, she's utterly amazing. Anyway, they come back to Australia. He has decided he's going to throw around a few porcupines as well.
Oh, Percy, no.
Yeah, she's decided she's going to be a dress designer for the performers and socialites.
Might decide I will
in
too.
Australia, she oh, that's right. In the UK, she started to develop an English accent as well, complete English accent, no
I
hint
love
of
that.
Australia. And she said her family at the time were sugar people. So obviously working with sugarcane
Sugarcane.
in Queensland, which they were not. They were from a station, a very, very simple farm in Queensland. Anyway, back in Australia, she's landed with a whole lot of excitement. But at this point, she's completely forgotten that she grew up in Australia.
She's even convinced herself she's English.
Her English accent, that's so
Yes,
funny.
she has decided she's an artist, and she said that she came to rest and then stayed. And so her family are furious.
Family's
Yeah.
like, we saw you 2 years ago, babe.
Yeah, you nearly died. You've got a soft spot in your skull where the
Remember?
Yeah,
Or maybe
Clearly
she doesn't remember.
can't.
She
Yeah.
can't. She thinks she's from the sugarcane land.
Yeah, exactly. So she's gone to the school of make shit up whenever you like, and then he's got on board and said. Weapons manufacturing has turned into a financier, and then eventually he became a business tycoon. So,
Oh my God.
so they're living their best lives.
Jeez, before you could run a CV through the AI scanner,
Yeah.
you
Get
could
some
really
checks.
just say anything, couldn't
I mean,
you?
and how fun.
Oh, I know,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I was actually having this conversation today with someone at work. It somehow came up in conversation that I worked as a trapeze artist for 2 years, and she went, "How old are you?" Because every story I hear about
In your
you
vaudevillian times.
is another lifetime.
She's
Exactly.
always got a doll with her doing a ventriloquism act.
Like Florence and I would have got along.
Well, look, to be honest,
She sounds
Florence
amazing.
sounds incredible.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
And look, she'd tell bullshit stories, but I don't care.
Great.
No.
Great.
Like, give
Our
me
queen.
more of this
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
But also give me that reinvention. Don't be afraid. Like,
Yeah.
she is not kept stuck by her situation, and I think she financially
facts.
or facts. Yeah, but that could be a bit problematic at times. But she, financially things come at her. The war money
Yeah.
is tight, so she just comes up with a new
Something
idea.
else.
Let's
I
give it
remember
another go.
Fiona Lachlan used to say the great line, don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah.
And I used to love it, especially, with her telling stories about her stand-up and everything. And the kids would often go, that is not true.
Yeah, Mum's
She's not even
lying.
related to Keith Urban.
Every day as I sit down to write my news updates, I say, don't let facts get away.
That's why I'm not allowed to do the news anymore.
Just Channel Florence.
That's
Channel
showbiz,
Florence.
baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, pop on
Want
a
to be
move.
from England? Be from England.
Yeah, why not? Today I'm going to be, from wherever.
I had a friend, so I grew up on Phillip Island, Myf. I had a friend that called Mish that when I was growing up went to England for like 2 weeks just on a little getaway and came back with an
English
accent.
accent.
I love that. I love it.
And no one believed Mish. Like, oh, what is going on with this English accent that
She's
you
like, I can't even understand what
can't
you
even
say.
understand.
I just sounded so different.
That's right. And
so
where did
good.
it come from? Was it from the East? Like, was it an East End,
It was
get out
very,
geezer?
very posh.
Very posh.
Very posh.
Yeah, I think she's coming
You
back
don't come
being
back
like,
with a
"You're
Cockney
right."
accent. Yeah, funny.
Yeah. She's
Went
gone,
on holiday, didn't he?
yeah, she's gone for the elevation.
Yeah. Mish, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I had a friend, a girl I lived with at one point who always said we were fostered out when we were kids, and I found out subsequently a couple of years later, no, never fostered. Mum and Dad went on the Fair Star the Fun ship and left them with their aunties and uncles in Adelaide.
Oh
And
my
so
God. When I was annoyed at my mum, I used to say I'd been fostered out.
Fostered out.
oh, kids. I mean, but what point do you get from childhood where you become that kid that lives in such a fantasy world that
Yeah.
you can actually move that into your reality with such conviction. Like there's
And your husband just comes along for the ride. I'll make up
love
stuff
that.
too.
yeah,
Great.
he's gone, here's an opportunity. Let's jump on it. She's just an absolute fantasist, but why not?
Yeah.
Why not? And that's partnership. That's teamwork. What is it? Teamwork
Makes
is
the
the
dream
dream
work.
work. Yep, that's it. Anyway, she came back and she'd reinvented herself as an artist, a visual artist, and she said that she was going to have an exhibition and then that would tour the world. Sadly, though, the exhibition didn't go down too well, and I suspect not because she wasn't a great painter, or that has been implied, but of course it was. I suspect that was implied because she was a woman. And given the time, and, well, it might even happen now, but the disdain for a woman thinking she could come here and
Take over our work.
take over and consider herself to be good. She was quite roundly criticised by local critics, and I think this is when she went, righto, well, what am I going to do? Oh, in the meantime too, husband started a trucking business, of which case she took over, and that apparently worked really well.
Sure,
until
they became trapeze artists.
Yeah.
Trapeze and trucking.
Until they split, I think, and she probably took over the trucking business and killed it.
Wow.
As in a good way, killed it in a good way. Not I forget we're doing a murder podcast and not just a fabulous socialite.
So is this where the murder comes in?
Yeah, no. Well, this is the thing. She's gone, how do I pivot? Like she's the epitome of the pivot.
Do you know if she came back to Sydney? Was that kind of where she?
I think she
settled
came
back
back to
or-
Sydney. And she was obviously very enmeshed in the socialite scene.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is what fed it, and this is even better. When the Queen Mother came to Australia,
Very timely. Princess Anne is in town today.
I know, touches on so many contemporary things, this one. Well, the Queen Mother was here, and the Queen Mother was invited a bunch of Sydney socialites to come to a meet and greet, and the Sydney socialites included Florence Broadhurst at this stage.
And the Real Housewives of Sydney.
Exactly, yes. Your mate was there.
Janet Roach.
Janet Roach.
Well, the first thing Sammy said to Myf when she came in, I saw Janet Roach at the airport.
The Virgin. In Virgin. I saw it, yeah. Got other stories. I'm going to tell my story about meeting Myf.
I would be excited by that.
I was excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just love the idea as well. If any international listeners didn't realise he meant Virgin Airlines, you just said you
Just
saw
a
Janet Roach. Virgin.
Virgin. I'll call it. I'll say it how it is.
I'll say it. No one else is going to say it.
Oh God. Oh, Janet. I mean, maybe recently. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Maybe she's. I don't know. I mean, I am. I'm
facts.
born again as well.
Yeah.
We move on, I reckon.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I? I'm all confused.
Can I just say real quickly, one of Janet Roach's great lines in Real Housewives of Melbourne was when her line, you know when it's like a reality TV show in Melbourne, Real Housewives of Melbourne, when they filmed it, she obviously wanted to get this line in many times and thought, it won't make this edit, it won't make this edit. But it's actually in every episode. She says at one point about her husband who they split because he got a hand job in sort of like a Thai massage or something.
Because he had Goldsmiths, the nightclub,
Yes.
didn't he? Bobby Goldsmith, is that his name? I
think
remember.
so, yeah. And then
Toddy Goldsmith's dad.
Oh my God.
And she kept
This
saying,
is like the third time Toddy Goldsmith has come up on this podcast.
Get her on. She's
Get her on.
amazing.
She would be.
She's amazing, and she would have stories upon stories as well. Because
she'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Watch this space, listeners.
yes.
But Janet Roach said about 6 times, in every episode, nearly 6 times every episode, she'd go, oh, he got a hand job. Paid for it. I was giving them for free. But she keeps saying it in every episode. And it's like so funny.
She wanted to get it in once. I said, if I say it enough times, they'll use it once.
She said it about 10 times.
Queen.
So funny.
I love
Out
it.
of context every time as well.
That's why you should
Brilliant.
never give away free hand jobs.
That's right.
As I say every
That's the
episode.
advice. Yeah, no.
I'm just. I just get whenever anyone says hand jobs, it's a compulsion in me to just do that with my hand. And I think it's because when I was a kid, because that was like, oh, hand jobs.
Yeah.
No one says hand jobs anymore, do they?
No.
One of our favourites,
Janet Roach.
One of our favourites.
Well, I saw it at the Virgin Lounge, like I said.
Virgin. That's why she was only giving hand jobs. One of my favourite family law stories in my family was we were out for dinner with a big group of people, and Mum was insinuating that someone was a wanker, and she did the hand signal for wanking.
I love this.
She did this really obviously and didn't realise the waiter, who was about 14 and male and so embarrassed and nervous, didn't realise he was standing right behind her. And she turns around and looks at him and says, "Oh, sorry, I don't usually do that at the table."
At the table.
There's standards.
Exactly.
Standards. Oh my God, I love that.
You would have loved
That's
one.
so funny.
Very
Oh
one
my
of yours.
God.
And whenever, because hand job is such an archaic term because everyone says wristies these days or something like that.
Everyone's saying it.
And blow job is what they call the other these days. So if anyone says head job, I just immediately do the other with them.
So funny. So if anyone got
clipping this
National
up.
Treasure Myf Warhurst on the podcast,
Doing a
this is what
blowjob.
we've come to.
It just it reduces me back to my childhood
I know,
and the laughs.
I particularly love, because my angle of where I'm looking at you, right over your shoulder is Ray Martin's book.
Oh, great. Stories
It's
of
so
my
good.
life.
Stories of my life is you're there just insinuating you're giving a blowjob. It's fantastic.
New Age Media, look it up.
Well, we didn't have the internet when we were kids. We had to do stuff.
hand signals.
Do hand
Yeah,
signals to make us laugh. Shall I go back?
Oh, I'm not sure. The time when you were doing hand signals.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, she's gone. Okay, we're back to Florence. Meanwhile, Florence is this amazing looking woman as well. She's got this dyed orange red hair. She's
Like Annie.
Yes,
Little
yes,
orphan Annie.
all grown up,
Little orphan Annie.
and she's very elaborate in the way that she dresses because obviously, you know, as
She's
I
an
said,
artiste.
she's an artiste, but she also knew her way around a Janome and could whip up something that looked very classy very quickly. So she adapted to every situation.
And she was making like affordable clothing as well. So I imagine she's really good at
So the Queen Mother comes to town. She gets invited because she looks fabulous and is fabulous, and everyone in Sydney thinks she's from England. And anyway, the Queen Mother is notified as to who is from London, and I think the Queen
Not.
Yeah, exactly. The Queen said something.
Not.
Well, she targeted the London ones because she went to them and obviously spoke to them, but she went directly to Florence because of it. But Australians don't need to know this, that the Queen Mother was coached essentially. And the Queen Mother says to Florence in front of all of her new socialite Australian friends, "Are you living here now?" So this implies that the Queen Mother knows.
No, yes.
Florence.
She's English.
Queen Mother's never fucking met Florence in your life. But of course, Florence has gone, I'm going to take this and run with it.
Of course you would.
And all of a sudden she's best friends with the Queen
With
Mother.
the Queen Mother
And this is
from my years growing up in London.
Exactly. And this then elevates her again in the social realm, and she is now, she's Queen Bee in Sydney at this point.
It's quite reminiscent of everyone thinking I was born and grew up in Tasmania.
Because you say it all the time.
And me now being the Queen of Tasmania. Self-appointed.
I get the same from
Self-appointed.
my small town of Redcliffs in country Victoria, up near Mildura. Yeah, I have self-appointed myself the Queen of Redcliffs. 'Cause
So you should.
Yeah, because you know, there's
They need
the only other attraction the town had, and it was a beautiful town. I love growing up
Other
there.
attraction, apart from myself.
Well, no, I've added to that attraction, and that's what where this is leading was the big attraction is a big tractor. That's it, and I have scratched my initials on that tractor. So
I love
Well,
that.
I've scratched my initials into the Supreme
Hearts
Court.
of everyone in Tasmania.
Yeah. And the media desk in the Supreme Court of Tasmania.
Have you?
Allegedly.
Or
did someone else to try to frame me? I guess
me.
we'll never know.
oh yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Just winked.
That'll cover us.
See?
Yeah, she keeps winking.
So that's why there's a blackout in this part of the YouTube video.
There's a 10-minute blackout.
Yeah. I forgot we were
It's
filming.
redacted.
Oh, we didn't, Myf, when you were doing your hand jobs.
You're doing your hand jobs.
We
We thought
did
we're on to a
not.
winner. We're growing.
Ray Martin over your shoulder.
We became a hit overnight.
I'm so sorry, Mum.
You said at the start of this you only had 3 YouTube viewers. We've got you some more.
Oh my God, yes. Can you tag me?
Four.
And they'll come
Yeah.
come to my new YouTube. It's called Myf Warhurst The Moment. Come for the hand jobs.
Come for the hand job, stay for the great tales.
Nah, you'll get no hand jobs.
That's
but
my
that'll get them there.
autobiography. Come for the hand jobs, stay for the great tales.
Stay for the tales and hot takes. Oh, I love it. Thank you.
I think it's beautiful.
I'm going through the roof.
That's
I can
great.
feel it.
That's
I can feel it. Come on over, be
Let's say come on over.
massively disappointed. All right. Sorry.
When you asked if we could swear on this podcast, and now here we are.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Oh, gosh. I've brought the tone down, haven't I?
No.
And you thought it was going to be elevated today because I was talking about art and design.
I know. So I'm like, gosh, it's going to be very serious.
Yeah. Anyway, she's best friends with the Queen Mother. Wow. She's Queen Bee of Sydney. She's gone, how do I make money now? I can't succeed as an artist. The world tour is not going to happen with my artwork. What do I do next? Well, with the money that she got from the trucking business, the husband's left her, by the way, at this point. They've split up. So she's looking after herself at a time when that was not an easy thing for a woman to do because you couldn't even get a bank account or a home loan at this point. Hashtag feminism. Hashtag equality.
Hashtag it would be quite nice to not have to have a bank account or loan either. So I'm all for feminism. Like I'm one of the greatest feminists. Every so often I'm like, oh, we did fight very hard to have to do all this paperwork, didn't we?
Oh, I know, but yeah. You're right, actually. It's some days I'm not
around tax time. I'm like, oh, maybe a husband would be nice.
Yeah, but they're not particularly good at it either. I think they just play act at that stuff, a lot of them, and then
just
you
pretend you can do stuff.
Yeah. It's all well, as we've noticed from Florence. It's all
I love her.
It's all show,
bravado, and
fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah,
attitude and energy.
Absolutely. So take that with your tax next time. Just go.
You say attitude and energy to your tax agent.
Yeah, attitude and energy.
Hey, ever heard of Florence Broadhurst? He goes, no. I went, all right, here's my 24, 25.
And you go, this bitch knows how to turn some shit around. Let's do this. All right.
Send it to the Queen Mother. She'll sign off for me.
Yeah, totally. Oh, well, you're best friends with.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
The King's dad.
Yeah.
I don't know, Janet Roach.
Virgin.
Virgin.
She is a queen.
She is a queen.
She is a queen of Melbourne, got to say. All right. The pivot, the factory. Why? She's designing wallpaper. She's decided to take her creativity and these incredible motifs that she has created, allegedly. But I think she did.
Yeah.
There's no way she could have got away with what
taking
she'd
someone
done
else's work
so far, especially in a creative sense, coming up with ideas. I mean, even if she employed other people to do the work, and this is
her creation.
It was her creation. I mean, Andy Warhol actually made a career out of asking that very question: what is art? What is the work by artisans who create it for me? Is he an artist? What is an artist? So essentially, what Florence was doing at exactly the same time was what Andy Warhol was doing, and that was then made famous by Jeff Koons, who is the visual artist, who then became very famous for making artworks and putting them in a gallery sense that were definitely and absolutely made by other people that were better at it than him. So here she is, no longer a painter as such, but is actually dealing with ideas of conceptual art and creativity through creating her wallpaper. So I don't give a fuck if she came up with the designs or not. However, this has implications on the latest story of her murder and possible motivation as to why she was killed. Okay. So, anyway, she's killing it with this wallpaper business.
Pardon the pun.
Again, sorry. It's a term I use and I need to lose it today. She's just so incredibly famous. So you've seen the works? Okay.
Know it, Sammy?
Yeah, I do know. I know some of it.
It's also very cool again now. Like
it
it's
is
the
very
whole
cool.
everything old is new again, but it is very cool. Wallpaper in general is cool again, but these like abstract, really kind of kitschy 70s designs.
Yep. And what she was doing was allowing Australians to expand their understanding of what they could do in their homes, but also allowing them to be more creative and a lot freer with the decisions that they made in terms of their interior design. I should do like a little flip.
Did she call herself an interior designer, or was she more an artist that made wallpapers?
I don't know what she... Well,
whatever.
She called herself many things.
She called herself anything and everything whenever she liked.
Yeah.
But, this is the front of the book. You can see the silver stuff like this.
Beautiful.
She was using materials that hadn't been used before. She was designing on a bigger palette that wasn't utilised in Australia, so she could incorporate these beautiful designs. And I think the most famous would be the peacock, which and that beautiful bird one too.
That's very so iconic.
It is iconic, and that references obviously. I mean, I see a lot of ancient Chinese art in there from her time in China, which wouldn't necessarily have translated here in Australia at that time. People hadn't necessarily seen
Google.
Yeah, hadn't seen a lot of that imagery. So if she borrowed it, don't care.
Yeah, not at all.
Just absolutely beautiful. I think it's at the start anyway.
And did she do it, like, you know, by herself, by actually painting these? Do you know what she used? Was there...
Debatable
Yeah,
again,
sure.
because she had bad eyesight too, I think, from the accident.
Yes, there's the peacocks.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The peacocks is amazing.
It's very, I can see that in a really arty, kitschy Sydney rich person's ensuite.
Oh,
Don't you reckon it's that exact look?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Touch the gold while while you're busy on the pot.
Oh, you're busy on the pot.
Yes.
There'd be
I
like
call it the
green
pot.
marble
Just off to the pot.
off of the pot. They'd have like a green marble basin or, you know, gold lighting.
Heaven.
Probably some substances on the
yeah.
said green marble.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there she is there.
There
That's
she
her at
is.
this age.
I love
Okay, I
her.
will say she does look like she would be friends with the Queen Mother.
She does, absolutely.
Yes.
Doesn't she?
Well, they've got the same hair dye. Same, get it set on Monday in a purple colour, but she went with the orange. How bonkers was that there was a whole generation of old
same
ladies
hair.
wandering around with like yellow, purple and pink hair, and it was not considered like, you know, not like Pink the artist when she had pink hair.
No,
Like kind of cool and radical. It was just what you did.
Yes.
I was obsessed with the blue rinse, which I always thought was just incredible. Just going, you don't want to look like you're going grey.
So let's make it
blue.
purple or blue.
Look like Marge Simpson.
Absolutely.
That's what I love though.
Yeah.
I don't understand. As someone with very malleable hair.
Beautiful hair.
Thank
Say
you
it.
for saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, someone
Gorgeous hair.
fine.
Gorgeous hair.
As
We're all
someone
saying
with
it.
beautiful hair, no matter
I'll
what,
cut our bits out.
that's why you want to edit this podcast exclusively. I don't understand how, again, that entire generation of women were able to set their hair once a week and then go to bed and just it be the same the next day, let alone
neither.
5 days later.
Mine's like over here. I sweat in the night, and it's
Yep.
kind of kinked here, and
Yep,
it's
absolutely.
just not. It's not a good look.
not good.
What were they doing with it? You know
were
what
they
I actually
doing?
think it was? Sleeping tablets. They just
Yeah.
they literally comatose. They did
just-
not move.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
everyone
you're
was
right.
taking them because they're all trapped in terribly unfortunate marriages in which they
Yes.
were deeply unhappy.
Yeah.
And doctors were prescribing a lot of sedatives.
So what you're saying is you and I are
We've
so
solved
happy we toss and turn in our sleep and muck up our hair.
Exactly.
I like
we're
it.
having anxiety dreams. We're losing
It's
our teeth.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
We just need to get on the Serapaks.
I remember my mum telling me a while ago that because my nan was always, she's a big smoker, used to have like PK, you know, to just cover the breath all the time.
Oh,
And we used to call her
PK.
a small car the ashtray because she used to smoke in it.
God, yeah.
And she would just all the time, always smoking, but always very dopey. And I always remember her being like, she always being just very tired, very
calm.
She took her sleeping tablets in the day for 10 years.
Yeah, they all
she
did.
didn't know.
They were.
She didn't know that they were. She didn't know they were like diet pills or something like that. And she didn't know that they were drowsy until 10 years later or something. And, and the doctor went, "Oh, you shouldn't be taking those during the day." 10 years later. She's also the one that the doctor also told her that she needed to go for a 2-kilometre walk outside every day for her health. So she measured her living room and walked the exact distance smoking 2 kilometres. She walked her living room every day.
She's a genius.
God.
She's
Queen,
a genius.
Dottie.
Yeah. She
Dottie
and
Dot.
Dottie, of course, her name was Dottie.
yeah.
I love. Let's bring back that name too.
Dottie.
If I have a boy and girl child one day, I'm going to call
Percy.
them Dottie and Percy.
Dottie and Poisey.
Poisey. I've taken myself back to the 1920s. Oh, Poisey, David.
Percy and Dottie.
Poisey,
Percy
see?
and Dottie are coming around the corner now. Oh dear, we're
having fun. We're having fun, aren't we, in this murder story?
I don't even know. We haven't even got to the murder
I
yet.
know, that's why we're
7
having
hours
fun.
in.
That's why we're having fun.
Is it normally this bad? Like as in for you guys, feel free to edit.
It's great.
edit
No, we're
the shit
loving
out
it.
of
We're
it.
loving
Will
it.
not. The only bit that's being edited is you and Sammy telling me to say I've got beautiful hair.
Yeah, that's the only
So
bit.
it sounds like I just said it on my own.
You've got beautiful hair.
All right, back to Florence. Anyway, she's running this incredible wallpaper factory. She's printing all this stuff. She's got loads and loads of designs. She's surrounded by employees who are amazing and creative in their own right, and obviously contributing a lot to the output. and she's very popular. Lots of people are putting this in their houses. She's made it, essentially.
Wow.
She's at the top of her game, and at this point, well, that's obviously when the brutal murder happens. She's got her factory or her workshop in Paddington in Sydney, so quite in a city, and I think someone alerted the police at after 24 hours. I'm not making a lot of sense here. Someone alerted the police that the back door had been open the whole night. So the police went in to check, and 2 officers went in. One was very green, very young. I think he was even just out of training.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but I think his title suggested he was very young, and one was more expert, and they saw no signs of any issues downstairs. They went upstairs and there was water on the floor, and they thought because the window had been left open at night too. And they thought nothing of it. Checked all of the upstairs except for one room, which was the toilet, and one of the officers came in and said, have you checked the toilet just before we go? He said, no. So this young officer then went in and went to open the door, couldn't open the door, and found her, Florence Broadhurst, and she's quite old at this stage, I think. I don't know how old, maths again. But
Don't you dare say 34.
No, I think she's close to 80 at this point, because she reinvented herself at 60.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like
she was 60 when
by
she
the time
started
Yeah.
Wow.
So, if this is a sign you can do whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah,
whenever you want,
absolutely.
this is it. Don't get murdered, though.
Don't do that.
We don't want that.
Don't do that.
Her body was slumped over the toilet, and her head had been put into...
Oh, my God.
So there was a sense that this was not just a smash and grab. Jewellery was stolen, they found out later, quite a bit of jewellery stolen, so whether or not that was to make it look like it had been a break and enter and she was murdered because of that. But I think the placement on the toilet suggested otherwise. There were 2 coffee cups in the kitchenette, and so obviously she'd had a coffee with somebody or a cup of tea, and so all the dialogue around it is a little bit odd, and no one really knows who could have killed her at this point, and there's no leads, there's no nothing. So this kind of lays dormant. But the young officer who left the system quite recently after this event.
Fairly traumatic way to
I
enter
think it was
a new job.
really traumatic. He was told that he would not be, it was taken over immediately by our powers that be above him, homicide, that's probably the correct term. And he was not even interviewed about the crime scene.
What?
He was not involved in it in any way, shape or form. So questions obviously have to be asked about that. Why? Was it underworld connections? Were there, where was she getting her money to start up a business? Things like that are raised. But also then, of course, in the no shit Sherlock for the police, they lost the evidence when it came to later trying to get any kind of DNA. So lots of questions are being asked around what the motivation was. Was it a disgruntled employee who was very annoyed at the fact that her work was making so much money and they were actually creating the works? Was it an underworld hit for financial reasons? Did she know more about something given her socialite status that people didn't want her to know? There were lots of reasons as to why, maybe just because she was an absolute bullshitter, that someone had had enough.
Yeah.
Stop taking the credit for all this stuff, or
Was it the Queen's mother?
Was it the Queen?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly could have been. I mean, she said, "Bitch, you stole my look."
That's right.
it might have been Orphan Annie.
Yeah,
Stole her look as well.
It's true. So there were lots of reasons as to why she could have been murdered, but then there was a lot of cover-up, so no one really knows why and all of that. But then another element comes into play. At the same time, there are a bunch of murders in the northern suburbs of Sydney and of elderly women, 70 to 90, I think, or dead when they died, really. And
They
that's
were dead
awful.
when they died.
Well,
They were dead.
that age group. You go 70 to death.
Yeah,
And, actually, they did die,
They did.
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate. A horrible fella and you know his name, known as the
Wayne.
Granny Killer.
Granny Hill, done an
John
episode
Wayne
on
Glover.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you tie in the Florence Broadhurst possibility?
There was a
at
possibility.
This
I
point?
think it was kind of a footnote on this because it was
because
not
there were so many
confirmed.
murders. They were the ones that we went through.
Yeah,
And just said that, he was tied to the possibility of many others. I think the thing with that one too, from my memory of it, is he was very easily linked to a lot of the murders that he was convicted of. So I feel like the ones that weren't as easily linked have kind of been gone, oh, well, the other ones were very similar and more obvious, and this one wasn't. But hearing more about Florence, it feels like there was a lot of cover up or a lot of let's not talk about it too much.
Because he would take their shoes off and put them neatly next to them.
Yeah.
And he'd obviously often
A bit
meet
of an
them.
MO.
Yeah, and he would meet them at an RSL club down the road and he'd kind of follow them
It's
from
hard.
there. So it's hard to know.
It's hard to think without knowing the details of it, I suppose, whether it is we're making the link because she was an elderly lady killed in Sydney at the same time, or whether they're making the link because there actually were more similarities.
Well, as it turned out, Florence knew him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she'd. There's a connection, and I probably should have written it down. Oh, yes, I did. Well, I didn't. I actually got this off
she's
Google.
good.
Got this off Google. Yeah, apparently they'd been hanging out at a. Oh no, I don't have this. Oh, sorry. I thought I wrote it down.
Hey, make
they'd
it
been
up,
hanging
make it
out
up.
through
Learn from
someone.
Florence.
Someone exactly. Someone in the family. She was related to someone who knew him, and they'd been to a wedding together.
Right, okay.
Something like that. So please don't come to me for the facts. Go and look this up if you think that's wrong, which it probably is. However, so that they were actually linked, so it might make sense.
Yeah.
And when they asked him to answer questions about how many people he had killed, he wrote the number.
Yes, I remember the
Yeah, there was a
nine or
number.
10 or
Yep.
9. He wrote the number 9.
but he'd only been found of 6 or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
just before he died, and I think it was there was a drawing. I don't know. I'll link the thing below. But if it was a drawing of a tree or something, there was some sort of illustration that he
He
did.
said the clues are in the picture.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah.
What a
dick.
yeah.
We
what a grub.
speak about this often. If you are dying
Yeah,
anyway, if you are jailed for life
And you're already
anyway,
there.
just tell people who you killed.
give that to the families, like give them closure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just not
Disgusting.
okay. Not
No.
okay. But yes, apparently they linked, and the 9 was, or 10, whatever, I think it was 9, was the unsolved one they
Yes.
assumed, and it could have been Florence.
yeah.
Anyway, whether or not that's true, who knows? But I think what we noticed from this is police are very happy to tie things up in a neat little bow at this point and make it go away. And
Yeah.
maybe that was a motivation as well.
Well, yeah, that could have been a thing too. Like, it might have been him, so it probably
Yeah.
was. Let's just not
Yeah.
investigate any further.
Yeah.
We found a granny killer who was rampant at the same time, so let's just blame it on him and move on.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And she knew him, so there you go. Box
Yeah,
ticked. Off
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
So then what happens is the evidence is lost, so there's no chance of any kind of DNA working that out. And
Sorry to interrupt. When they say lost,
well,
like, what do you mean? Where did you put it?
How do you
Like,
lose
surely
evidence?
there has always been just evidence rooms that things really
Yeah,
clearly and
yeah.
easily go to.
yeah. Well, there is, but they clear them out and they go, oh, another woman's died. Not important. Let's get rid of this stuff, which is what happened with Maria
Yeah.
James and the trace.
Yes.
Rachel
yes,
Brown's
yes.
trace investigation. That evidence too was lost. Like it's rampant.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely rampant, and infuriating. Because it's not valued. You know, these
exactly.
crimes. The
It was just some woman's life, so
the woman's life wasn't as valued, and therefore they could just throw out the stuff. And
awful.
yeah, it is pretty awful actually. Any other bits? You've got editing, haven't you?
Yeah.
The case has gone cold, and then what happens is her business obviously folds, and her designs are almost lost. Like they're just sitting in a drawer somewhere, and she is lost from the dialogue as well because, not important. She was also making decorative art, which is also considered not important.
Yeah,
So there's so many layers of misogyny that is tied into this entire story, and judgment of female pursuits creative pursuits and hobbies. I mean, fuck, if she played golf, this would be important, or played AFL. It'd be fucking on the top of the list.
Exactly.
But because she made decorative art, it was easy to criticise. It was easy to bring its importance down in the eyes of the creative community. And now we know it's like similar things happen with pop music.
Yes.
Pop music was considered the domain of women because it was created predominantly by women, and therefore not as the more elevated or serious or critically acclaimed as perhaps rock music, which was made by men. And as I was coming up through the music business, I didn't even notice that this was a thing, that it was people would criticise pop music so quickly as just trash or easy to consume, therefore not important. And yet to write a pop song takes some of the most great creative knowledge. To write a perfect pop song is near impossible, So I think as we've gotten older, this is all being reassessed, and I love it. But you can see it being played out.
It does, and it has been reassessed in some ways, but it's also even more, or maybe as rampant in some ways as well. And I always use the example of Taylor Swift, that whether you like her music or not, there is a popular discourse to say she is shit, she's dumb. If you like her music, you're dumb and you're basic. That seems to be the popular discourse. Whereas so many other artists, you can just say, I don't like them.
Yes.
I don't like their music. It's not for me.
It's a judgment.
And I find that such a misogynistic take because it is predominantly women and young women in particular who like Taylor Swift. So to say, if you like her, you're dumb and you're stupid.
Yeah, and you're a child. Your taste is childish and you don't deserve to be at this table. That's essentially what it's doing when people say that.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing. They're belittling you.
And I've always thought it's such a misogynistic thing to say, or even just to say that they hate Taylor Swift. It is this feeling of, I think people aren't realising how misogynistic they're being in that take.
Yes.
Because it's just someone that women love must be shit, is kind of what they're saying.
Well, this is where you counteract any of those statements with the fact that, remember who discovered the Beatles? The Beatles were a pop band. They were discovered by screaming teenage girls.
Yes, exactly.
And the Beatles came to be the most critically acclaimed band on the planet that has nerds still discussing, recording techniques and who's dead and who's not and all of this. And this is still going on. It became the land of the critical and elevated to a higher art form. But they wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for those screaming teenage pop fans, because they were basically one of the first iterations of a boy band. They were put together and they were discovered by girls.
Yes.
So without them, we would not have the Beatles. So shut the fuck up.
They
know what's good. They know what's good.
I have one question. Who run the world?
Girls.
That's how it works. And
Sorry, this has turned into quite a feminist podcast.
What was her legacy, and how does she kind of, with the book and everything? When did the book come out? When did you?
And her designs. You said they nearly got lost, and she left.
They nearly got lost. Well, I think what happened was there were quite a few design teachers, graphic design teachers, and art teachers who had grown up seeing her work, and this is how Akira Izugawa cottoned on at fashion school or whatever. They all knew because they were taught about Florence, but that was the only place in which she existed. Everywhere else disappeared. And the family certainly didn't really know what to do with her back catalogue. But once Akira had jumped on board, that's when it all blew up again. So I learned about Florence probably in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
That's when it all kicked off.
Isn't that ironic in itself that a male artist has rediscovered her designs, and that's what's made them pick up again? Sorry, not even the fact that he was male, but that she was lambasted for not having her own original work and not being creative and not doing things on her own. But then her resurgence has come about from someone else discovering and reissuing her stuff.
Yes.
Like, that's just how art works a lot of the time, and that's how things are rediscovered. It kind of feels like ironic in hindsight for her. And I kind of hope she has seen someone do well and rediscover her stuff and go, see, that's what I was doing. I was trying to do that too.
Yeah. It's I'm glad it happened, but you're right. It's always she never actually got to enjoy that real moment of critical acclaim that she so thoroughly deserved.
Yeah.
She was always, you know, it's good. The housewives the rich housewives, of course.
Loved the
Janet.
wallpaper.
Loved it.
Janet.
Yeah,
Janet
Janet's.
Loved wallpaper.
Janet's.
Yeah.
Janet and all them. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh
Janet and
my
all
God.
them.
Yeah, Janet and all them. Oh, she's
I
incredible.
mean, she'd have the Virgin Landunnies done out. Great.
She's incredible. What an incredible story of someone that I can't believe I didn't know that story of someone who was a pioneer. And it doesn't matter, like, you know, how much she kind of had an English accent and kind of
I
Stole
love that.
stories from here, there, and everywhere.
I would say, like an Australian, Miss Piggy, as I have my beautiful portrait of Miss Piggy up there.
About art. Did you see? Did you spot that on your way in? Sammy has bought himself a Miss Piggy artwork.
What did you say to me the other day?
I said, did it come up at, because to explain to the listener, it is Miss Piggy in portrait as the
Botticelli angel.
Botticelli angel.
Coming out of a shell, a clam shell, to be exact. It's magnificent.
I said, did that come up as a suggested post or a sponsored post? And he said, no, I searched for it.
I searched for it. I wanted a Miss Piggy artwork in my home.
Absolutely. Oh, my God. Have you heard
Another
the news?
icon of our generation.
Well, this came out, so I bought that, and then that day,
the next day.
it came out that like
There's
I
a
had that
Miss
hanging
Piggy
up.
origin story movie on the
About
way.
time.
Talk about reappraisal. Miss Piggy was...
She's having a real moment.
She
Yeah,
was
she's
my
having a real
queen, and
moment.
I had a Pig Power poster on
Did you have
my
Pig
wall as
Power?
a kid.
Oh my God.
Where she was in the karate jacket.
Yeah, Pig Power.
And so I lost my tiny mind. But
It's
again,
so
it's a
cool.
reappraisal of a story because Kermit was the centre.
Yeah.
Yes.
The man was always
skinny
the centre
man.
and the stories.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And he never wanted her. But
No, I didn't appreciate her.
But
He's a
look,
piece
she
of
was a
work.
bit rough around the edges. and
Piece of
yeah,
That frog was a piece of work.
Yeah.
There was recently as well, like we were
Cancelling
talking.
Kermit now. By the end of this, we'll become a feminist podcast with cancelled
Oh my God, Kermit
Kermit.
played banjo just like Florence.
Yeah. Oh my
It's
God,
conspiracy.
the
It's a
connections.
conspiracy.
Oh my God.
Hang
in
on.
my
Did
mind.
anyone see Kermit the day she was murdered?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Let's bring that up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, her book is literally a rainbow connection.
Florence.
Oh, it really is a rainbow connection. Yeah, it is. Oh my God.
Guys,
There's so many
this is
parallels.
This is huge.
Yeah, we've solved
It's
it.
huge for us.
Not another crime podcast, right? Oh,
We were talking
Myth.
recently. We had we were talking about Fran Drescher recently, and we did an episode on Fran Drescher and going.
What crime has she committed?
No, she didn't.
Crimes
she
of
didn't crime.
fashion?
She
Because
was-
her clothes were amazing.
yes.
She
No,
was a
actually
victim
the
of a
victim
crime,
a horrible crime.
awful crime. Before
Years
she was
before
an
she
Don't
became
tell me
famous.
about
No,
it.
we won't
Don't
say.
wanna know.
But she has been an advocate for a long time for what she went through, and also, you know, she's spoken about her cancer misdiagnosis.
This came up at work today. There was a story on the news today. Sorry to interrupt, but I will continue my story and then let you get back to yours. There was a story on the news today. 94% of women surveyed had never heard of uterine cancer,
Really?
which blew my freaking mind. So I was like, what do you mean if you have a uterus, you can get cancer in the uterus? How have you never heard, have these many people never heard of uterine cancer? And so I was talking about it at work today saying, well, Fran Drescher needs to hear that Australian women aren't knowing about it because that is her cancer.
Yeah.
That's what she had.
That's what she had.
And it took her 2 years and the 9th doctor she went to diagnose her with cancer.
Yeah, it's called medical misogyny and
Yep.
it is real. And unless you know what's going on and you can advocate for yourself, you are essentially fucked because that area of the body was not deemed important.
No, and it was just, it must be women's business.
And she
I
also
digress.
said in it, like, she was like, I'm famous and this happened to me.
Yes,
She goes, "What about all
exactly.
the
And
other
people weren't even listening to me.
Well, they just die, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, but this is a very long way of me saying that Fran Drescher has now had this, and I think since there were memes and everything, I think people have gone, oh my God, how incredible was Fran Drescher?
Yeah, she's at a
she was
resurgence.
and she was like a Miss New York. Like, she was this beautiful person that came through This Is Spinal Tap with Bobby Fleckman.
Yes.
And then and people started paying attention to it. Remember when we watched Spinal Tap recently?
Yeah.
that's Fran
She was a
Drescher.
publicist, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So good.
So good. And so, yeah, this the resurgence of people appreciating Fran Drescher now and Miss Piggy.
And Miss Piggy,
did-
which,
And
and
now
they are
Florence.
similar.
Yeah.
That's right. And didn't you do great work during the writers'
Yes, she
shutdown
did.
as an
Yeah,
advocate
absolutely.
for
Yeah.
the unions? She's always been
Incredible.
top of the list.
Yeah, yeah. And also now, like, hearing about this, it feels like someone that didn't have their, didn't get their flowers back in the day, and now it's nice to talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel sad too. It's like, what else have we missed?
Yeah,
what other great genius have we missed, or great? I mean, she would be deemed a larrikin for all her
absolutely.
absolute bullshittery and, a character of the bush if she was a bloke in the same time.
Yep.
But because she wasn't, just disappeared.
Well, we laugh about Charles, what's his name? Charles Dozer, the succulent Chinese meal guy. And everyone kind of laughs about him and goes, yeah, what a legend and everything. And then you go, don't look too much into him.
Yeah.
Because we didn't episode of him as well. And went, don't look into him, don't look into him, don't look into him. He's like an alt-right. Of
course he is.
Yeah. And like an awful person. But I
mean, he was
her.
putting on an accent too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, exactly.
That old English accent that they put on. But I'm a big fan of her. And what a I don't know, just the amount of work that she produced over that time as well is quite incredible.
Well, Sammy, we're in your beautiful new apartment with
my
gorgeous
goodness.
white walls. They may need a bit of Florence Broadhurst.
You could put that behind Miss Piggy, and then you would have almost like a
like a double feminist
that's
energy coming out of the walls.
Absolutely, yeah.
The powerful wall of Miss Piggy and Florence right behind her.
Which I know is what you've always designed for your bachelor pad.
Thank you so much, Myf Warhurst, for coming on our podcast.
We went too long though. I'm so sorry.
There is literally no such thing. Please tell our beautiful listeners where they can find you and every wonderful thing that you do.
Oh, goodness me.
Not your address.
Yeah.
We've talked about the fact that
Specs on the telly. What else do I do? The moment on wherever you get your podcasts, that's what you say, don't you?
We'll link your show in our show notes as well.
Thank you. And what else am I doing? I've got a couple of episodes of Backroads in the can for the ABC, which is just gorgeous because that's like making telly from days gone by. It's so beautiful. Like it's just they take time and we've got you get to relax with it. It's fun. What else? I don't know what else I'm doing.
Just bits and pieces.
I'm always busy.
That's a lot. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm writing a book. It's coming out.
Okay.
It's coming out next year.
Oh, you just forgot about that for a hot minute.
Oh, I forgot because I've got a draft due in very soon and I haven't written enough, so I've conveniently forgotten it.
We'll have to have you back on. We'd love to have you back when you bring out the book.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Is it about Miss Piggy, yes or no?
She will figure in it quite significantly. It's not from a personal angle. It'll be more theoretical.
You're going to do a find or replace?
Yes.
When you go...
when you read Myf's book, call in if you recognise the Miss Piggy reference.
Yes. No, there'll be a whole chapter on her, I think, on what I'm writing on because, oh my God. I've got to write everything down. I'm perimenopausal, I forget. That's why I've been looking at my notes the whole time. But I do actually have to write Miss Piggy chapter.
Oh, hang on. I'm TMing that idea before you write it down.
You can't
Thank you very much.
Ideas are everywhere. Ideas are everywhere.
I'm TMing any reference to Miss Piggy.
Hang on, I've got to write down what
You're going to be so rich.
Miss
Piggy chapter 1, you said?
Miss Piggy, why am I writing about it? Oh, my God, because it's about a certain topic.
To a podcast we've ever had.
Hey?
It's weirdest ending to a podcast.
Yeah,
stop distracting her.
Be quiet, she's writing down an idea.
Yes, it will. It absolutely will. I know Sammy, our editor, this is going to her.
Oh, you'll have to buy my book to find out.
Thank you, Myf.